Okay, so this isn't going to be the most professional video I've ever made, but while I'm thinking of it, I wanted to tell you I'm about to I cut this mold out. I'm cutting this mold out too. It's an action figure, nothing special. It's kind of complicated, but something I forgot to tell you about this reusable molding compound is that if it's something complicated, something's going to be tough to cut out. Notice I'm starting to cut it out now. You want to put this in the refrigerator, or in this case, it's 35 degrees here in Pennsylvania. I put it outside on my back porch, and it what that does is it makes it solidify a little better. So it actually makes it easier to cut out, especially if you're using a fresh molding compound that you just made with my recipe. Now, don't do this with Umu 30 or anything like that. This is only for the reusable compound that I shared with you guys. Um, and I don't have the camera set up, but what I'm doing is I'm cutting out like I'm normally doing. But if you, and it's not frozen, but it's cold. And what I'm doing is I'm cutting around these finer details. What this will do, it leaves a crisper mold for you. And especially if you just made that molding compound that I showed you, you see it's kind of soft, and it can be hard to work with, especially on a complicated mold. So the solution to that, which is what I wanted to share with you tonight, is to put it in the refrigerator and wait till it's completely cold, just like Jello. And it just makes it so much easier to cut around the finer details, which is what I'm doing right now. And I forgot to mention it to you guys earlier, and I've got a lot of people that ask questions and comment, and I appreciate that, and I love questions. Like I said, we're learning from each other on this. So I just thought I would share this with you tonight real quick. I'm going to try to, as soon as I'm done cutting this, I'm going to end the video. So it shouldn't be a long video, hopefully, because I know I can be long-winded sometimes. But like I said, this just makes a much more firm mold to cut out, and you can make your molds better, especially the seam that's going to show up when you pour the resin in there. And once again, this reusable molding, if you're just joining us, you can catch my video how to make this reusable molded compound. It's only for clear resin. It won't work for white resin. I recently found out it definitely won't work for wax. Anything that heats it up is going to remelt it. Somebody asked me about plaster of Paris this week. That I don't know, because I know that doesn't get hot. So if anybody wants to try that, let me know how your results are, so I know what to tell other people that ask me. But I just wanted to share this with you real quick tonight. If the colder your mold is when you demold. Now, when I pour this is important. You don't want to pour it into a cold mold. You want to let this come back to close to room temperature. It can be a little colder than room temperature. But when you actually pour your resin into this, you don't want it to be this cold. But removing your original article from the mold, little cut here. Got to pay attention. This is for a customer. Yeah, when you're cutting it out from the original, it works better if this is cold. Whether you put it in the refrigerator, set it on your back porch like I did, whatever you got to do, it's going to improve the quality of what you're going to pull out of it. And like I said, once again, there, perfect. See? And then another good way you can tell if you did it right is if you look at the original you pulled out and you don't see any of the molding compound stuck to it. This isn't too bad. A little spot there, but I could dremel that out whenever I mold it. Just makes it easier. And that's all I want to say to you guys tonight. This mold looks good. I'm going to let this mold warm up a little bit. When it gets to room temperature, that's when I'm going to pour it. That'll probably take about, I don't know, half hour. But just a quick note I wanted to add to what I've been teaching you guys and what I've learned. Told you once I learn something, I'm going to share it with you. Feel free to leave comments, suggestions, subscribe. That's about it. Have a good night, guys.